The bill signed into law this week to reopen the government also includes more restrictive language around the allowable amount of THC in hemp. That's the controversial compound also found in marijuana. Jim Higdon is a co-founder of Cornbread Hemp. The Louisville-based company employs about 100 people and grew over 60 acres of hemp this year. He says every product they sell will be made illegal under the bill.
Once the dust settles here and people realize that McConnell has banned CBD products that adults take in a non-intoxicating way to help with pain, anxiety, and sleep that have become popular over the last 5 years or so, there's going to be a real pushback over all this, and we're going to get something done.
The restrictive language was largely pushed by Senator Mitch McConnell, who said he wants to restore the intent of the 2018 Farm Bill. An amendment by Senator Rand Paul to remove that language was defeated. So, Senator Douglas, let's start with you here. Higdon told me that hemp advocates are going to be putting a lot of effort behind a new bill that may be coming in the next year to undo some of these changes. What would you like to see happen?
What I'd like to see happen is, again, I'm one of the persons who says, let's kind of put the brakes on these things and let's take a look at what we're really talking about. You know, when we grow marijuana, hemp is still marijuana. It's just marijuana with a lower level of tetrahydrocannabinoid. That is the THC. And the amount of THC that accumulates in the plant can vary a great deal based on soil conditions, based on weather, and based on a lot of things. Currently, the definition of hemp is below 0.3% or 3% THC. Above that, it becomes something that is in an area that some enforcement can occur. Just trying to enforce the law is one of the biggest problems that we have. Do you go out to the fields and test the plants? How many plants do you test? If those plants that you test are above that level, do you burn the field, or what do you do otherwise? Now, from a consumer, or I should say a producer standpoint, is that they put a lot of money into the equipment of growing. So I understand the economic decision that they're making. But again, enforcement is difficult. So I do think we need to sort of all look at some calmer heads and say, how do we approach this problem? Because we cannot be sure that the hemp we're growing is not above the level of THC consistently because of things that are out of the farmer's control. We also want to make sure that when we set up a straight line, that it's not just a regulatory, that it's just a regulatory line. And it's not something that's ultimately going to punish our farmers. Our farmers don't need that. But if those levels rise and it goes above the level at which it is hemp, then we really are punishing our farmers needlessly.
Representative Camuel, what do you think?
To jump off of what Senator Douglas said, it is very rare that I agree with Rand Paul, and I think he was 100% spot on with his amendment. I am so greatly concerned for our farmers. They have been hit time and time again from either natural disasters. The sale of their product, of what they're growing, has been impacted by the Trump administration's tariffs. You look at our soybean farmers and how they're struggling. What I feel is happening with this legislation that just passed out of the Senate, I think puts us on a downward trajectory for helping our farmers out. Like, we need them. They are critical to our economy. Not just Kentucky's economy, but the world economy. And so this one is a head scratcher on why they went so far, so fast, in a way that will really hurt our farmers.
In our interview together, Higdon mentioned to me that he felt like the bourbon industry had been very unfriendly and they're lobbying against them. Do you think they are playing any role influencing this?
Nobody from that lobby has talked with me about the hemp products. Like, that is not a discussion that we've had.
Senator Douglas?
I would have to say the same thing. No one from the liquor lobby has talked to me. I'm a farmer. I grew up on a farm. I'm just a farm boy. I understand what the farmers are saying. I think there are some holes that need to be fixed, but ultimately this is a federal bill.
Yeah, and we'll have to continue to see what happens at the federal level. Thank you both for your insight. We'll be right back right after this.